Welcome back, everyone, to, I don't even know what episode this is, 16, 17? The next episode of A Legionary's Life. We're going to continue. High morale, River Eos, and Epirus. We're still at war with the Macedonians. Let's see how far our character goes. I actually kind of forgot what we did last time. We had some Olympic games or whatever, not Olympic games, but some games to see who would win the money. I tried to throw javelin far and failed. Not too surprising. 2 of the 3 events were for javelin, so of course I was going to be terrible at it. Anyway, let's just continue. You would be promoted if there were a position available. You'll have to wait for your chance. Hopefully your popularity won't have changed by then. We should probably just be elected consul at this point, because people really like us, but that's fine. So we have more time. I guess there's more developments which will happen. Didn't realize that this is where this would end up. So maybe we should do some javelin practice. Okay, Consul Flamininus is known for being a Philhellene, a great admirer of Grecian culture. Didn't know that was the word, Philhellene. He thinks virtuous, honorable officers like you will help establish firm and long-lasting ties with the locals. So our opinion with the consul has increased by 6. It's the only one that we're missing, so here we go. My goodness. We are very well liked. I don't know if we're going to get any more points out of this. Let's switch out to workouts, coordination, endurance. Your soldiers' opinion increases. Another thread is your victory at the river Eos opened up a path through Epirus and into Thessalia, a region long under Macedonian dominion. Here you are joined by 2 allies, the Aetolians and the Athamenes. Athamenes, I think. I don't know. They have already taken control of several towns. The consul is determined to capture the city of Philoria, but it is garrisoned by 2,000 soldiers of Philip's army. It becomes clear that this is going to be harder than usual. The defenders are driving back every assault. Days after the siege began, your patrol captures a group of merchants not too far from the city. We can either try to pry some useful information out of them, they might know about a weakness in the city's defense, or just take them back to your camp. I feel like charisma and intelligence is probably what would be needed here. We're not particularly good at those, but I mean, the problem with the game asking the question like this is, who in their right mind would say just take it back to the camp? They hint that it's really interesting to do this first choice. So we'll do it. We'll just take them back to the camp. You have already done your part. The return trip is uneventful. Today you'll storm the city walls. Wherever you look, men are at work building ladders. Getting the right length can be a difficult task. We'll let others make the appropriate assessment, as usual. And here we go. You advance towards the city. Assault begins. The defenders do what they can to thwart your actions as the ladders are propped up against the walls. Their length may not be perfect, but they will do. Good. The first man over the wall will receive a mural crown, one of the most highly regarded rewards in the army. You are not in charge of the maniple. Making it on your own will be even more difficult. Of course, you may decide to help your centurion. You can be sure he will be generous should he succeed. Why don't we help the centurion? We could do... we're not going to be able to kill people fast enough, probably, so we'll just help the centurion. We surge forward. You proceed steadily upward as missiles keep raining from above. One of them ricochets off your shield and plummets to the ground below. We're passing checks left and right. Your party has almost reached the top. You keep part of the defenders busy while the centurion tries to make his way to the ramparts. Okay, so we're fighting at a huge disadvantage. We should probably just go for broke. Try to kill this guy as fast as possible. Yeah, he's very low skill, so I think even with our huge disadvantage, we'll probably be okay. And he has quilted linen cuirass, so we'll just go for the torso right away. Okay. Another 8. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think we're going to get this guy. He has... Well, we could go for the head. What kind of armor is this? Konos? I'm going to go for the head. I don't think that armor is going to protect him very well. It is. Okay, I'm mistaken. My bad. Groin, he almost doesn't have armor. No, he almost doesn't not have armor. Damn. Let's hit him in the torso. Ah, of course. Hit him in the torso. Oh, wow, 16. Quite good. And he succeeded his recovery, so we might as well recover ourselves. Okay, back to full-on swings. Okay. We both missed a turn. That's funny. Ah. Well, we have to recover. We're not going to stand much of a chance hitting him. Let's, come on, kill him. We got him. As soon as the last enemy is dispatched and the top of the wall is secured, you look around. You are too late. Someone else made it to the top ahead of your centurion. Damn it. The last remaining resistance is broken. The city is yours to take. After you have left the burning ruins of Floria behind, the rewards for the battle are assigned. We have tons of money. Money no longer matters anyway. Alright, let's try strength and constitution. Also, no luck. There is a discussion between your comrades. Titus Modius maintains that the world is round, a notion he must have heard somewhere in this land. Most of the rest believe it is a weird concept. I think we'll keep silent. Tortuga the Fifth is kind of the strong silent type. We don't have too much charisma, intellect, we'll just keep silent. The argument goes on inconclusively for a while. It looks like nobody will be able to solve this mystery today. Mystery spelled wrong. So we'll try javelin practice. It's the only thing we seem to succeed at. Alright, we'll put out in charge of some... Okay, to the left looks good. There's only one town to the right, so lots of them to the left. We kind of know that we're going to end up seeking an ambush on the way back, but for now, let's do this. I think it's worth it to do that. Collect. There's no advantage since there's no ambush risk going through the mountains, so we'll avoid those as much as possible. And we want to choose a route that takes the least amount of forest. Looks like 3 is the minimum, so we'll just choose that path. Not the right path. Collect. And collect. My goodness. I guess we can go over to this one. Ambush. Okay, well, that's fine. Your pulse races as you hear an arrow thud into a nearby tree. You find cover before it's too late. So this is defense, quickness, coordination, and awareness. We are actually not very good at that. 55 and 60 for... and 54. So it's 55, 54 with 67. But our defense of 76 probably helps us a whole bunch. You advance on the archers. When you get too close, they break off the attack and retreat. Still on edge, you resume your journey. Okay, good. Collect here. Getting back might actually be a challenge. We spent over half our time getting here. And unfortunately, it's a lot of forest. Or a lot of mountains, I should say. Okay, I think I see a path through. We're going to go... this way, I think. And down to that over here. And now I think we can be a little bit more aggressive about getting ambushed. Maybe not. Okay, let's just keep going down this way. Suffer 2 more trees. Yeah. So we're barely going to finish on time. We'll wander through the trees here for a little bit. See if we get ambushed. We did not. Okay, well, that's fine. You have completed your mission to everyone's satisfaction. And probably we didn't gain anything. Javelin practice to make everyone happy. Okay, so let's maybe do one board game. Gain a denarius. And back to swimming. I don't even read what that was, sorry. You suffer a mortifying setback at Atrax. Your siege engines tear down a section of the city walls, but the Macedonian garrison forms a phalanx behind the breach. They thwart any attempt to break into the city. The fact that your maniple wasn't involved in the attack does little to lessen your frustration. This episode is an anguishing reminder of how impervious a phalanx can be under the right conditions. Flamininus raises the siege and leads you in search of less defended targets. The towns of Phanoteus and Antisera, Ambresis, Hyampolis, and Daulis fall in rapid succession. We can gain even more money. I don't know how to get around this. I guess we just train the frickin' javelin until our arm falls off. Still not getting any better there either. The important city of Elatea is the last to fall before winter. Its doom is sealed when a large section of the wall is brought down. You have gained 192 denarii. My god. When a dispute arises between your men and a group of Aetolian allies during the pillaging, it is only your intervention that prevents blood from being shed. So our opinion with the consul is increased by 3. Our virtue has further increased by 5. Our virtue must be pretty darn good then. I mean, let's take a look at our character. Virtue is right in front of my face. Wow, our virtue is insanely high. And our morale is back to superb. So we can try. Okay, endurance, something happened. That's great. Constitution, not important at all, but fine. Javelin. The Achaean League joins the anti-Macedonian coalition. Flamininus and Philip meet again to no avail. Many suspect the consul of keeping the door open in case his command is not prolonged, so that his successor won't take credit for ending the war. When he is given proconsular authority by the Senate, you are all certain that the conflict will go on till an overwhelming defeat forces Philip to accept all of Rome's demands. Also, your army is partly renewed when thousands of reinforcements from home join you. There could be an opportunity for promotion. In recognition of your efforts and achievements, you have been promoted to Centurio Prior. Hooray! We're really big stuff now. Oh, shield got better. Hooray! And we receive our regular pay of 98. Javelin skill continues to increase. Let's just go for it here. Good. Got it. That was a very lucky stretch. We'll play a board game to gain opinion. Morale went up. That was the main thing that I really like to see. We'll do it again. Okay. And we'll practice Javelin because basically we know it's going to get better. I mean, Javelin's really skyrocketing during this little stretch. I can't say that our other attributes have really gone up by much. We probably could get away with training quickness. I ought to do that just because, not because I really need the quickness, but because a lot of the non-combat events might like quickness. And endurance is also quite good to get. So let's do it one more time. And let's make sure that we don't miss out. Looks like we have at least one more in us, so let's train this. And your marching column is walking past an upturned cart. There are only women and children about, refugees. None of them look injured, but they can't flip the vehicle. Everyone keeps on marching as if they didn't exist. We'll stop and help them. The women eye you warily at first, but relax when they see you just want to help. When the cart is back on its wheels, they would thank you for your unexpected aid. The children wave at you as you resume your place in the column, and they set off in the opposite direction. You get so used to seeing the poor and the weak take the greatest burden of any war that you feel almost relieved when you can prove to yourself that there is still some humanity left in you. That's a good point. So our morale has gone up with those recent events. Do we have enough time for 2 events? I'm going to do the... You know what? Actually, our morale is high enough that I think it's okay. We risk just doing Javelin practice one more time. It succeeded. And we do have time now, at the very last, to do Offer Sacrifice. So that'll put our morale at max, just in time to move on. Your camp is you camp in proximity of Pherae. one of the most ancient cities in Thessalia. All you know is that Philip and the main body of his army are somewhere in this region. The air is heavy with tension. There is no way around a final confrontation to end this war. You find some comfort in the knowledge that there is an opponent you have already defeated in battle, but the setback at Atrex proved that under the right conditions, the failings can be nearly impossible to overcome. You can only hope that Flamininus is clever enough to prevent Philip from using his fearsome yet scarcely mobile weapon to its full effectiveness. Or things could get very ugly. But that is way beyond your control. You immediately set the thought aside. You'd better stay focused on the things you can have an impact on. Isn't that true? Character's looking good. I think we're ready for this fight. You are accompanying a vanguard that consists mostly of light infantry. Your mission is to learn what you can of the Macedonian whereabouts. It is a surprisingly short quest. You are crossing the hills to the north of your headquarters when you run into a similarly composed party, enemies. Their own camp must be very close. Philip is certainly not wasting time. He must have learned of your presence and is already on your heels. You don't have orders to attack on sight, so you just observe each other from safe distance as you wait for the messengers who have been sent to Flamininus to come back with instructions. Part of the rival vanguard belongs to the Agema Peltis. You can tell by their insignia. If normal Peltis are the best of the Philip's infantry, these are the cream of the crop. You cannot attack, but you can issue a challenge to single combat. It could be an occasion for personal glory or an early grave. Let's do it. These are elite troops, and most likely one of their best will answer your challenge. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. The man who comes forward looks rather puny for a crack warrior. When he prepares to fling his javelin, you curse your carelessness. His movements are incredibly nimble and expeditious. That was close. You can barely deflect his lightning-quick missile. Alright, so what I'm expecting is good. I'm expecting that endurance is going to win the game. So his strength and constitution is low. His quickness is insanely high. His coordination is very good. The only way we're going to win this, as far as I can tell, is in a defensive battle, which is exactly what I intended to fight. So, despite our javelin skill being very good, throw it like this. And he will go first and fail. So, we'll just set to respiting with a slightly defensive posture until we know what we're dealing with. As in, I'm okay sitting here for a while he does that. Perfect. Okay, so we will take our chances. Let's see what our attack could look like. A 50% chance to miss his arm, 50% chance to hit. Let's take it. And we did. Fantastic. He recovers. We'll go back to defensive. Actually, because we missed, we don't even need to... This is crazy. Yeah, we'll just go back and respite defensively. I'm feeling pretty confident about this, which might be overconfidence. Could very well be overconfidence. Armor is reinforced linen cuirass. I don't know how effective that's going to be at stopping, but let's just swing for let's go for the fatigue victory here. He feints and fails. We can recover. We can actually just respite from a neutral position, waiting for him to recover. Okay, he succeeded. I think we'll go for a defensive recovery now. Okay, and he was able to go again and again. Let's not go full defensive yet. Okay. Okay, he gives us time to recover. We failed with like an 80% chance to succeed. Okay, we had almost no chance to fail there. And we can go back to recover. Good. So you can see that this is a death spiral which we can get out of control very quickly. Let's attack his torso. Okay, we missed. Not too surprising. Alright. I think we will go for the attack here. You know what? Let's just go for a respite. We know what we want to do. We want to play our game. And once he recovers, we can defensively recover. Yeah, I feel very confident about this, actually. We'll respite and neutral. That's how, like, confident I am right now. I'm okay with that. We'll go back to a defensive posture. No, I didn't want to recover. Okay, he's down to his first level of fatigue. Despite his endurance being, extremely high, we have done it. We've knocked him back. Okay, and we're still going to face those. I think it's fine. We'll respite defensively. Keep respiting. Okay, let's recover. I mean, the quickness, you can see how it ends up being not a good thing. I'm stuck on a very good defensive position. I don't lose morale for having to select something. I'm going to keep recovering, though. So he did a respite. Let's do a respite neutral. Okay, good. Let's make our move. Let's just see how this torso... Yeah, it does 5 damage still. So let's go back to respite. He's mostly going to faint, it appears, which is the worst for his fatigue. Okay, our armor actually absorbed it. For once, I'm actually happy I'm wearing greaves. I didn't know it would ever play a role. It did, which is amazing. Okay, he missed his attack. That's our movement. That's our chance. Let's go for the arm. 4 more fatigue. Maybe it's not even worth it, considering the net change in our fatigue and their fatigue is basically the same. But he didn't actually recover either. Okay, now we're in trouble. Oop, got lucky. Okay, let's just respite neutral. Okay, now we should go back and recover. I think we'll recover again. Neutral respite. Okay, now we can go back and do a defensive respite. We're expecting an attack any moment now. There it is. We missed. Gives us our opportunity to attack. And we didn't do any damage, but yeah, that actually could have been bad. We'll go back and defensively respite. His fatigue is almost up to the 3rd tier, in which case we'll probably have not a hard time at all. Problem. Yeah. Rather big miss. Let's go for the arm. Go for the leg. All right, huge. So he succeeded. We can go for a respite here. Okay, I mean, he gets 2 feints in, but those 2 feints are just more and more fatigue. We'll recover a very small amount of missing. And in a moment, yeah, that's the same thing happening again. We'll go for another respite. And now I think it's time for us to start attacking. Okay, let's go for it. How are we looking? You know what? Yeah, I think it is still time to attack, so let's go for his arm. Got him. He's basically dead. And we'll just go for the torso for the kill. Got him. A masterful engagement. And it looks like this reinforced linen cuirass is pretty good. You know what? Not that good. Awareness penalty of 6, and unfortunately this is 63 lower damage, so we still don't have anything which is that useful. Undoubtedly, he was one of the most dangerous warriors you have faced in your long career. His comrades watch in respectful silence as you strip him of his weapon and armor. Dusk is approaching when the messengers come back. There will be no more fighting today. You are all to return to camp. Upon hearing of your duel, a tribune sends his physician to take care of your wounds. You have regained 6 points of health. We didn't even lose that much. And then we got a cup for defeating an enemy on our own initiative. Very good. Well, we're looking at 25 minutes right now. It looks like we can probably push on for another fight. Yes. Okay, let's continue. In the morning, both commanders send off a party of cavalry and light infantry. During the action, your Italic horsemen are outshined by their Aetolian allies. They are not as good as the Numidians, but still remarkable. On the next day, you break camp, imitating the Macedonians. Clearly, both Philip and Flamininus. Oh, this is the big battle. Okay. Now we're going to move towards a hill. Now it's going to happen. Both Philip and Flamininus are dissatisfied with the ground. For 2 days you move across southern Thessalia, making no contact with the enemy forces. Their exact position hidden by high hills. Finally, you encamp at the sanctuary of Thetis. Yeah, this is it, not far from Pharsalus. An intense thunderstorm makes sleep difficult during the night. Upon awakening, you find a persistent fog that veils everything. This doesn't bode well. The Macedonians could be anywhere. You watch with curiosity as 10 squadrons of cavalry and nearly 1,000 velites are assembled and dispatched to investigate the hills. At least, you remember there were hills yesterday in that direction. As you look at the large scouting party disappear into the fog, you recall someone mentioning that they are called the Dog's Heads, which is Senoscephali. Maybe. It takes quite a while for messengers to come back, and when they do, the camp is stirred into ferment. What filters to your ears is the most disturbing. The patrols have met with an enemy force they can hardly hold off. Another detachment, about twice as large as the first one, and comprising many Aetolians, is sent to help them. When the fog disappears at last, you can see the engagement going on. Your allies are being steadily pushed downhill, yet by a superior force. The proconsul has formed you into 2 wings. Your maniple is on the right of the left one, in front of the raging battle. There is nothing ahead of the right wing as far as you can see. Yep, this is right. That's right. One of the 2 flanks cracks, and I think that the Macedonians just break too early, and a broken Macedonian army means, with the phalanx, that the phalanx is absolutely useless because it just gets flanked. You advance, and as the retreating skirmishers fall back through the gaps in your formations, the center of your line makes contact with Philip's troops. The effect is almost immediate. Now it is the opposite side that is slowly losing ground. Nevertheless, as the fighting spreads, a small group of mercenaries falls upon you. What do they think they are doing? Okay, so we have a small disadvantage. I think this is because we're downhill. Suppose that's what it's supposed to mimic. Yeah, which is true. And they also have the Therophorus. Okay, we have a lower chance of success because of that. But this guy's pretty mediocre. We'll be able to dispatch him pretty quickly. So I think we'll go for full javelin. Hit their torso. He's going to feint. We resist. How are we looking here? He has quilted linen cuirass, so he's definitely going to have a hard time. I don't think... I mean, we could go for the leg. He has no armor there, which will probably still kill him pretty quickly. Yeah, and he's already fatigued, so I think we're just going to go full on. Well, okay, let's attack the torso, which is, I would say, guaranteed kill. And indeed it was. You follow the fleeing mercenaries, but close to the top, you find a dreadful surprise. The phalanx is here, its long pikes are lowered and ready to push you all the way back down, which I believe does happen. But there is eventually something, somebody breaks. As the phalanx approaches, it is impossible not to notice that their ranks look deeper than last time. It will be like fighting against an avalanche. And we should be at a small disadvantage because the... Okay, when the other side is at the... Ooh. For a brief moment, you have a good line of sight, picking off the enemy officer. Yes! Your target skillfully ducks initial, but at least you caused some minor disruption for the enemy formation. Fantastic! As the other side gets closer, you steal yourself for the incoming fight. So we have an 8 disadvantage. That's not too bad. Okay, so how do we want to handle it this time? This is stance reduction, but cost fatigue. You can chop, very low chance of success. They mainly just do these shield pushes from what I remember. So I guess we'll decoy? Yeah, that's what they do. We'll just recover. Okay, I guess they'll do it again. We'll recover. Okay, look, we really need to recover. There it is. Now we'll respite. We'll recover first. Oh, that's right. I forgot. We're basically at our max. I don't know how you're supposed to do this otherwise, really. I guess we can try to chop, but... Now, if they land multiple of these, it will be... Yep, that's where it gets challenging. Okay, let's try a slash. Recover. They just keep pushing. Let's respite. Okay, recover, I guess. So those are all going to be adding fatigue. I think let's go for it. It's no fun to just sit here forever, right? Yeah, basically. One sec. Okay, back. Yeah, so the situation is going to be changing soon. We're not going to be able to kill this thing in time, so I think we just... should be able to recover. We're just going to outlast them. Especially because I think we have to sit there. We have to not give up our post, right? Oops. Oh, boy. So, yeah, so I don't want to fall back. Once again, you lead your soldiers as you go on the offensive. So we'll close in. Yeah, so they're getting more fatigued. I think let's just wait it out. Respite. I think we'll handle one before we need to do anything. Basically, my goal is to go defensive and recover as soon as we take two. That way I probably minimize the amount of recovering I have to do, which means I'm going to respite more often, which means fatigue-wise I should be a little bit better off. And we do get one free. Okay, let's respite. I almost did slash, because it's in that position before. Okay, that was a great amount of failing that they've done. And there it is. They're just at the cusp. This should be it. We'll take a free recovery, sure. Okay, should we slash? I guess we'll slash. Ah, did it. And then it resisted, but they're now... They've crossed the mark. I don't think that the hit points we took off earlier are going to carry over. So... yeah, we'll just respite. When we get the chance, might as well recover. It's a freebie. And since we don't have to go on the defensive, we don't have to worry about morale dropping. Not that that's a huge issue, but... so there's nothing that they can do to lose their coordination except for attack. Slash looks like it has a pretty good chance of... wow, we get a chance to recover right away? Absolutely. Well, we'll respite this, because we're going to stay in the line, so we don't want to get, too worked up. Nope. We'll stay there. Tortuga the Fifth does not yield. So these guys are still fatigued. And we're in better position now, so we'll try slash, I think. Not the best way of opening up, but hey, they actually lost more than we did from that. I think we'll respite. Expecting them to recover. We can respite again, because they're gonna... maybe we can even attack. I think we will. Aha! Now we'll go back and respite. Very interesting that they're not recovering. There it is. And we can go back and respite again. the same old cycle. I think we really ought to do some more attacks, though. Slashing attacks. Ah, well. So it looks like we're a little bit better off this way. Yes, but not really. There we go. Did some more damage. Hooray! Okay, we'll go for it. Ooh, that was brutal. There's the recovery, and we will recover as well. Which we resist, and then we'll respite, because we want to stay in the lines. That was both of us failing, I guess. We have a really good chance to respite here. We'll take it. And... now, people at this point, by the way, might be almost at their death. Our character is insane. Tortuga the Fifth is a god among men, so he has no problems. But just remember that after 3 rounds, you can imagine some people who don't have as good of stats just barely holding on. The pressure on the whole front line is overpowering. Mercifully, the uneven ground is slowing down the cumbersome phalanx. Your partially broken ranks use a moment of respite to rally a little. Okay, and that is where we will call this video to a close. So we'll continue the legendary tale of Legionary Tortuga the Fifth in the next video. For now, thanks for watching, and until the next one, take care.